Welcome to the second part of today's lesson. I'm recording this after the fact because I didn't record it during the lesson. So I'm going to start off with the part that I ended with, which is if you position your logo correctly, then you won't have to position it once you get into SolidWorks because they both use the same origin point. So to move this item, I just use a move command. I'm going to use the center of the circle. Okay, and then I'm just going to type in 0, so it'll actually put it on that point. And I'm going to use this logo to show you two other conditions that you need to watch out for. One is that you cannot put one sketch inside, or one sort of set of sketches inside another one, because that's one region there between those two lines, and this is another region here. And if you put the two together, SolidWorks won't be able to figure out which one to use. So I'm just going to export it in any case and show you how that works. So I'm going to go to Control E, which is my export command. There's the XF. I'm going to overwrite this one. I'm going to say for bubble. Okay. Go back to my CAM metric. All right, so I've exported it. Hop over to SolidWorks and use the same plane as I was using earlier today. So insert DXF, select that bubble. Okay, next, and then millimeters, front. I can zoom out if I need to. Next, okay, and then you can see that the origin point is in the middle already. So if I say finish, it'll bring it in on the origin point. Okay, so it's not quite exactly where I want it to be, but that's to illustrate the point that if you use the origin point, it'll correspond to the origin point that you've got in SolidWorks. Okay, so let's move that. Exit the sketch. All right, now I'm going to try wrapping. So select the sketch, say wrap, and select that face, and you'll see it won't do anything. Doesn't matter what you do, it's not going to give you a nice yellow line. So if I say yes, it says there's a problem from intersecting our open contours. Question is, how do we get one item to be on top of the other and locate them properly in two separate sketches? So I'm going to go back to the sketch, edit it. I think I've shown you this one. There are two ways of doing this. The one way is to select part of the sketch and make it construction, and then you can select the whole sketch, copy it, and then paste it again. I'm not going to show you that way today, so we're going to leave these as whole. What I want is some sort of common point between the circles and the numeral that I can use in both sketches. So I'm going to put a point in here, which is at the center. And I'm going to select chain plus that point and say Control copy, and then delete them because they're now in memory. And then put that point back in, although I probably don't need the point. Exit the sketch, go back to wrap. Just make sure that you have analytics on. Select the face. Okay, right. So now I need to create a new sketch on this plane again. Say Control V. You can see it's put the 4 in a place that doesn't quite match this one here, so I need to move that and select that point, and then just find. So now we need to find where that corresponding point is on the original sketch. So let's open up this feature and then click on the sketch and click on the show button, and then you can see that little item there. So I'm going to click inside this region, hold the shift button down or the control button down. So those two items are selected, and then say move entities, click on that point, and wait till it clicks on this one. There we go. Done. So we can exit the sketch and select it and wrap it. And that's how you do it. Right, so I'm going to hide this sketch. Where are we? Hide. There we go. Okay, so that's the one situation. I'm going to hop back into SolidWorks. If you, for some reason, there might be some reason where you want to place this as one piece, maybe it's too complex, some other good reason. There is a way, it's just by bridging. So I create a line, I create a duplicate of that line. Right, these two, I just need to chop off the bits that I don't want so that there's some sort of bridge between them, like that. Join them. Okay, and I've already made this, so I'm not going to do it again as a DXF, but I would select this, send it through as a DXF, and let's just suppress these two and pull that in just to see what it looks like. So insert DXF, and it would be this bridged. Next, so I want the front view, I want millimeters, white background so I can see what's going on. Zoom out, there it is. Next, and finish. Before I do that, I'm going to move this sketch origin down by Y. Let's minus 40, let's see what happens. Minus 100. Yep, that might be good. Apply, finish. Right, so it's brought it in place, except it's misplaced one of the lines. So I should be able to fix that. Where are we? We're actually in the sketch. What am I doing? Okay, right. So it has actually connected everything. Let's hope that we can move this. Not that one, plus that one. Move entities from there down to there. Okay, and in the lesson this wouldn't work, and then I did it later and it did work. So let's see if we get lucky. It looks like we are going to get lucky. I'm not sure. It shouldn't work with the spline surface. Let's see, will it? It worked with the spline surface as well. Okay, so that's interesting. I didn't realize that spline surface is reserved for another case, which we're going to hop over to now, which is this complex curve. So it's curved in two directions. Surface which is curved in two directions. On this one, it should be the case that if we insert a DXF, I'm going to insert that same one, bridged. Okay, next, and I'm going to move that down again just to show you that's actually quite useful. Apply, finish. All right, so it's messed with the line again and it's gone in the wrong direction. So I'm going to do that again. Okay, no, let's just move this whole lot. So this is a smaller surface than the other one, so that's why this isn't fitting as it should. And that may be the reason why in this afternoon's lesson it gave an error, in that the sketch might have been too big. So let's scale these entities, go down, down. Yeah, that's good. Move them again. Not too far. Okay, so That all looks good. Select the sketch, wrap. Okay, so in this case, let me test myself. So analytically, the analytical version shouldn't work on this surface. And it doesn't. Right. So you have to use the, what is it called? The spline surface before this one will work. And that looks like it's going to work. All right, and then you can adjust something I didn't speak about this afternoon. You can adjust the accuracy. I'm not quite sure how that works, but you can play with it and see what it does. Let's put it on maximum and see. Okay, it takes longer for a start, so that you may need to consider. It takes a lot longer, but it's done it. All right. Okay, so you can only use, when you use the wrap tool here, you can only use, I'm not going to be able to do it, you can only use it using that spline surface if it's a curved surface like this. And there was one other little trick that I showed you this afternoon that I would like you to use, and that's to learn to use the Windows Shift S button to use the snip tool and then related programs to show me problems that you have on your computer. Not take screenshots with your cameras. Very difficult for me to read. So if you hold the Windows button, the Shift button, and then the S button down, you'll get this set of commands. You can do things like freeform. I haven't used these. I've only used the straightforward rectangular one. You don't need to click on any of these. You just click inside the area that you want to capture. And then it'll take you immediately to the snip and sketch button, which you can then click on. And inside the snip and sketch, you can draw. So you can choose the colors that you want and the size, and you can draw, okay, if you want. What I like to do is I like to take this across. So I minimize that, and I go to Paint 3D, which opens very quickly, and paste. And so here I have my item, and the same thing here. I can use brushes. I can adjust the thickness and the color. I can decide whether I want a marker or a pencil or whatever it is, and I can do a little bit of whatever it is that I want to do. So let's say in that region there. And the advantage here is you can add things like text. So here it's sometimes a bit tricky. You need to just click on the text button, click inside here, and then type in whatever it is you want to address. Click outside. You could have moved that around, by the way. And then you can crop. So you can take even more away if you want. Okay, and then I think you can Control C. Let's just see. No, crop. Right, once you select it, it crops, and then you can just say Control All and then Control C, and then you've got that entire picture. So you can go into your email or wherever it is. So there I've Control V, I pasted the one that I cropped earlier. So please do use that. If you have a Wacom or some sort of pen or a stylus, you could draw quite easily. Much nicer for me, much easier for you to explain what you're doing. You don't have to put text and stuff on, just rather cut it out. It gives you a nice clean picture. Thanks for watching.